What loophole did you exploit before someone found out? Before we start with the first story, please hit a subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Story 1. When in high school, there was a company that offered money to run an advertising window at the top of your screen. It would monitor mouse movement to track whether you were at your computer and pay a small amount per hour. A buddy and I downloaded it and a mouse moving software and would run both 4/7, except when we were on the computer. Made a few $100s off of it before the company closed down. Story 2. My old apartment complex had a soda vending machine at the pool that was broken. If you put in 50 cents and pressed the button, nothing happened. If you put in another 50 cents and pressed the button, nothing happened. But if you put 50 cents in a third time and pressed the button, you'd get 3 sodas. I could see the vending machine from my couch, so I would watch for someone to try, and then try again, and then give up without trying a third time. And then I'd head over and get 3 sodas for 50 cents. Story 3. I learned before my ASAF basic training to say that I played an instrument whenever they asked the group on the first day. I raised my hand and lied. The cymbals. So most days I got to angrily smash cymbals together in the air-conditioned band trailer, instead of marching drill practice in the San Antonio summertime sun. Story 4. For a while, you could buy $1 coins from the US Treasury using credit cards. They would ship them to you for free. If you had a rewards credit card, let's say an airline one, you could buy thousands of dollars of coins, go to a bank, deposit them, and then pay your credit card back. It was a good way to get a ton of points for flying without ever paying for anything. They stopped doing this. Story 5. Buffalo Wild Wings used to have a check-in thing. Check in enough times and you get a free meal. The office I worked in was close enough, geographically, that I could check in from there without physically going to the restaurant. A bunch of coworkers and I had an alarm to check in every day, and then once we all had the free meal, we'd go there for lunch. I got probably 4 or 5 free meals out of it before BWW revamped that system. Story 6. Coca-Cola did a campaign where you register a code from the bottle cap and earn prizes. I worked at a store with bottle deposit and earned myself a sweet MP3 player with room for 5 songs or something. I was the only one I knew that had a MP3 player, so it was pretty sweet at the time. Story 7. A new fast food place opened near my work. My mother-in-law got me a gift card to the place as a birthday gift. I went on opening day and tried to use my gift card. They said the system wasn't in place yet and just gave me my food for free. This worked for almost a month. It was the best gift card I ever had. Started with $20 on it and I got at least $100 worth of food. Story 8. Back when physical media video rentals were still a thing, we were gifted a Blockbuster gift card for a free rental. The card proved to be unbreakable. Every time we rented a movie, I would hand the clerk the card. They would scan the barcode on the card, hand the card back, and the movie was free. We used the card for about 3 years until our local Blockbuster closed. There was obviously some sort of software error, but the gift card was never rejected. Story 9. Taco Bell had a $5 box deal to win a PS4 before it was released to the public. I found that towards the end of the promotion you could enter to win without purchasing a $5 box. You could only enter once per phone number and address. Also, the rewards were time-based. Every 15 minutes someone would win. I woke up every night at 3:16 a.m. and entered 4 times, using my home, work, and my mother-in-law's home and work numbers and addresses. After about a week, I was about to stop and I won. I had a PS4 3 days before the public could even buy them. The next year, I did the same thing and won a second PS4 for the kids' game room. After that, they changed the rules slightly to make it much harder to game the system. Story 10. I used to work for Sears as a teen. When someone came in without the rewards program, I would just put my own info in. That way, my sales percentage for rewards members didn't drop, and I got all of their points. The amount of coupons and free money was insane, especially when I was working back in the tools department. I didn't stop until they started upgrading their ancient point-of-sale system. I also had an employee discount of 20% on soft lines, clothes, home, etc., and 10% on hard lines, tools, which they didn't take away for a few years after I quit. Story 11. Work allowed us to skip breaks and bank them, but the contract language basically made it so you could bank both 15 minutes breaks each day. as well as bank your lunch if you never technically clocked out. So I just eat while driving from job to job and bank an hour a day. Was able to use all that time after a while to take an entire month off of work, paid, without even using any of my assigned paid time off. HR got pissy about it and tried to rake me over the coals when I got back, but I pointed out the contract language and they realized their hands were tied. They pushed out a new contract to fix this exploit, but my work contract was still good for another year, so I declined and kept banking time, taking time off when I wanted. Of course, they didn't offer me a new contract once mine was up, but I had a better paying job closer to home lined up already anyway, and took the last 2 months off, paid, while I started my new job, so I was basically getting 2 salaries. Story 12. I won 3 free 2-night stays, easily worth upwards of $3,000 total, at the Wynn Las Vegas from a poorly thought-out promotion. When the Wynn first launched their sportsbook in Colorado, they had a promo where you could spin the wheel and win a prize with every parlay that you bet. There was no minimum bet. Even better, you could immediately cash out the bet for a full refund after spinning the wheel. The top prize was a free 2-night stay at the Wynn, and it reset each night at midnight. Every night, my friend and I would log in at midnight and make a $1 parlay, spin the wheel, and cash out until we won the prize. By 12:05, one of us would win. Mind-bogglingly. There was no limit on how many times you could win, until they wised up and made it a drawing for a free room. We each won 3 times, and only quit because we couldn't use any more vacation time. When I went to redeem, I was overjoyed to find out that there were no blackout dates. Usually weekends and holidays are blacked out, as they are more expensive. I went over the 4th of July weekend, Halloween weekend, and a weekend during summer, all of which were upwards of $500 a night. When I checked in over the 4th, the guy at the desk told me that the room was going for $800 a night. Story 13. For a year, I lived in a house in London that was split into 3 flats. The landlord had submitted meter readings before I moved in, so I just waited for each new bill to put my name on the accounts. When we moved out, I went to submit the meter readings and couldn't figure out who was supplying our gas, heating, and cooking. Couldn't find any bills, couldn't see any payments from my bank accounts. It was a mystery. Ended up just calling suppliers asking if they had an account for my address. In the end, it turned out that whilst 3 meters had been installed for the flats, only 2 had ever been registered. Without a contract with a supplier, or even any readings for the years the flat had been there. There was no way we could be charged for our year's usage, or for the few weeks until we moved out, whilst a new account was set up. As the guy from the gas company said to me, "Congratulations, you have free gas." The annoying thing was that we'd kept the thermostat down during the winter to save money. Went totally wild for those last few weeks though. Story 14. When I was in middle school, Pepsi did a thing where if you bought a 20 ounces soda, there was a decent chance the cap would say you were a winner on the inside, and you could exchange it for another 20 ounces. Problem is, a dark-colored soda like Pepsi is reflective. Hold the bottle slightly tilted and you could look at the reflection of the inside of the cap. For a whole school year, I didn't pay for soda. Bought a winner, and every day I'd exchange the cap at a gas station I passed on the way home for another winner. Eventually, Pepsi caught on, and instead of it saying you won on the cap itself, there would be a code you had to enter online. We didn't have the internet in our pocket in those days, and it wouldn't have been worth it to read and enter multiple backwards codes for a soda if we had. So this ended the scheme. Story 15. Not me, but my roommate in college. Whenever you paid for anything on the university's website, you'd earn college bucks. Each year's tuition paid for something small like a beer koozie, fold-up lawn chair, or if you somehow spent an absurd amount, an official school-branded kayak. Well, my buddy found out that the points were added to your account before payment went through on the website. So he just refreshed the page over and over and got millions of points. I only found out his scheme when I came home to an entire living room filled with boxes from our school. There were shirts, coolers, chairs, cups, and of course, the kayak. We opened all of it, like idiots, and had a giant laugh at the school's expense. All of the guys living in that house were having a great time until we opened the smallest box, which had $1,100 Visa gift cards. Then we got scared. A bunch of school-branded crap from a warehouse was probably unusual, but not something that would bother the person loading all that up for delivery. The gift cards, though, that was where he got caught. The gift card issuer called the school to verify such a large amount before activating the cards, and that raised a lot of red flags in the accounting department. They traced it all back to my roommate and came and took everything back. They left the opened items and the worthless gift cards, and suspended him during his final semester of college. He had to write an apology letter and do community service for the school for that whole semester in return for not pressing charges for fraud. It makes for a great story, though, and we had a ton of beer koozies and gift cards that we threw at each other like ninja stars. All right, folks, that's a wrap. If you like more of this, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your thoughts in the comment below. I'll see you in the next video.